Chapter 18. Doolittle's head felt like someone's nails were dug into his mind. As he heaved in and out, trying to catch his breath, he knew someone else was in the room. He felt for his gun holster on his side and slid the pistol out. He turned, raising the gun to the intruder, but was shocked by who he saw. It was him, or at least someone who resembled him, but the likeness was uncanny. The other him, the doppelganger, just stood in his long trench coat over a black hoodie. He wore simple black slacks and boots and didn't look like a detective. Instead, he was much older, with visible grays in most of his beard and a head that barely had hair. "What are you doing in my home?" Doolittle asked. "Our," said the doppelganger. "What?" "Our home," he said. "This is interesting. I know I can move forward in time, but traveling 30 years into the future, I'm impressed." The man sounded like him too. Just like him. Doolittle was confused. Had Ava slipped him a hallucinogen? No, she wouldn't do that. So, had he finally gone crazy? This him, whoever he was obviously standing there. Was it the machine? That particle accelerator? Had it done something to his mind? His hand shivered at the thought of it. He tried to keep it steady while using his free hand to fish for cuffs from his pockets. "I can assure you, your mind isn't playing tricks on you," the man said. "What the fuck are you talking about?" Doolittle asked. "I'm you, just 33 years older. 33 years wiser," he said with a brief laugh. "I don't give a shit who the fuck you think you are. I'm taking you in for breaking and entering," Doolittle said, producing the cuffs. "Oh, really?" the man said. But when Doolittle blinked, the man vanished. He was now behind Doolittle on the other side of the television. "How did you?" Doolittle asked with his gun aimed at the man. "Like I said, wiser," the man mocked. "Put these on." Doolittle tossed the cuffs, but they disappeared right out of the air. The man was no longer behind the television. Instead, Doolittle found himself laying against the floor, spinning the cuffs on one finger. "Ah, I remember when I first figured it out too. Only, I don't remember being as confused as you are," he said. "That night, sitting in that shitty apartment, staring at that lotto ticket, I went 30 days into the future, not 30 years. "Stop," Doolittle demanded. "How are you doing this?" Doolittle could no longer fight it as his hand shook. He was confused, angry, and most of all, scared. This man, his older self, was doing things, disappearing and reappearing in a matter of seconds. But how? He thought. "What do you want from me?" Doolittle put the gun back in his holster. What could a gun do if this man could snatch the cuffs out of thin air without Doolittle ever seeing him do it? "From you?" the man said. "Nothing. But you see that?" The older him pointed at nothing, but as Doolittle's eyes adjusted, he noticed a ripple in the air right where he had crashed on the floor. It reminded him of a wave in water, starting from a center point that spread outward. It was about the size of his body. "That, young me, is what I like to call a time scar," the older Doolittle said. "A what?" Doolittle asked. "A time scar. The point at which you came into the future is also the point which pulled you back." "What do you mean, came into the future?" Doolittle asked. "I forgot," the older Doolittle said. "This is the first time for you." "That means..." The older future Doolittle headed towards him. He went for his gun again, but it was gone. When he looked up, it was in the older Doolittle's hand. "Everyone is still alive in your timeline, and John Compton hasn't gone into hiding yet." The older Doolittle fired the gun at his younger self. The bullet struck him in the leg. Doolittle screamed, fell to the floor, and clutched his leg. "It's nothing personal, me," the older Doolittle said as he walked through the center of the time scar and disappeared. The ripples dissipated as he passed through. "No!" Doolittle yelled. He crawled over to where the time scar had been, blood trailing behind him from his leg, but he no longer saw the ripples. It, along with his future self, was gone. And he was there, injured and stuck.